October 2021. Adele reveals something that would shock the entertainment world. But before we get to that moment, there's something you need to know about what was happening behind closed doors. Because what Adele was hiding wasn't just affecting her voice. It was destroying everything she'd built. And she wasn't alone. From Oscar winners to pop icons, Hollywood's biggest stars are making a choice that goes against everything the industry stands for. They're walking away from alcohol. Completely. And the reason why will change how you see celebrity culture forever. This is the story of Adele's secret battle. And how her decision to quit drinking exposed a truth the entertainment industry has been hiding for decades. Adele Laurie Blue Adkins. Born in Tottenham, London, 1988. By age 19, she had a recording contract. By 21, she'd won her first Grammy. By 25, she'd become the best-selling artist of the decade. But success in the music industry comes with an unwritten rule. You celebrate every victory with a drink. You cope with every loss with a drink. You network with a drink in your hand. It's not just accepted. It's expected. For Adele, wine became part of her creative process. A glass while writing. A bottle to unwind after performing. It was sophisticated. It was British. It was normal. Her albums were confessionals. 19 explored teenage heartbreak. 21 chronicled a devastating breakup and became one of the best-selling albums of all time. 25 was about nostalgia and growing up. Each record was emotional, raw, vulnerable. And each record cycle was celebrated the same way. Champagne, wine, and more champagne. But here's what most people didn't know. Behind the powerhouse voice and the self-deprecating humor, Adele was struggling. Not with fame, not with fortune, but with something far more personal. By 2016, after her third album dominated the charts, Adele was exhausted. The touring schedule was brutal. The pressure was suffocating. And her marriage to Simon Konecki was beginning to fracture. Wine became more than a ritual. It became a refuge. 2021, Adele's marriage ends. The woman who sang about heartbreak was now living through her most painful one yet. She had a young son, Angelo. She had an image to protect. And she had a glass of wine to help her forget. But something was changing. Adele began noticing patterns. The wine that used to help her relax was making her anxious. The drink that used to inspire creativity was leaving her foggy. She'd wake up feeling disconnected from her son, from her music, from herself. In interviews years later, Adele would describe this period as her rock bottom. Not because she was falling down drunk. Not because she'd lost everything. But because she was succeeding by every external measure while feeling completely empty inside. This is the paradox of high-functioning alcohol dependency. You're not the stereotype. You're not losing jobs or relationships, yet. You're just losing yourself. Slowly. Quietly. One glass at a time. And Adele wasn't alone in this experience. Bradley Cooper has spoken about how he was completely hungover during his 2011 breakthrough with the Limitless Press Tour. He quit drinking that same year, saying alcohol was preventing him from reaching his potential. Daniel Radcliffe admitted he used alcohol to cope with the pressure of Harry Potter fame. He'd drink to deal with anxiety, then feel more anxious, creating a vicious cycle. Blake Lively realized she never wanted her children to see her need a drink to relax. These weren't addicts hitting dramatic bottoms. They were successful people realizing that alcohol was stealing their best selves. And in 2019, Adele came to the same realization. Quitting alcohol when you're famous is complicated. Your entire social life revolves around events with open bars. Your stress management has been tied to drinking for years. And everyone has an opinion about your choices. But Adele made a decision that would transform her life. She stopped drinking. Completely. Not for a month. Not for a cleanse. Forever. Let's be clear about what this meant. Adele didn't check into rehab. She didn't have a public intervention. She simply recognized that her relationship with alcohol wasn't serving her, and she chose differently. This is what sobriety looks like for many people. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a quiet acknowledgement that you deserve better than what you've been giving yourself. With alcohol out of her system, Adele began rebuilding her life. She started working out with a trainer. Not to lose weight, though that would become a tabloid obsession, but to manage anxiety and find strength. She began therapy, doing deep work on why she'd been using alcohol as emotional armor. And she started writing again. Really writing. Music that came from a place of clarity rather than numbness. But here's what nobody tells you about getting sober when you're famous. The industry doesn't make it easy. Award shows are sponsored by alcohol companies. After parties flow with champagne. Music videos feature drinking as glamorous. The entire infrastructure of celebrity culture is built around alcohol consumption. Choosing sobriety means choosing to be different in an industry that rewards conformity. By 2020, Adele's transformation was becoming visible. She'd lost significant weight, which became international news. But the weight loss was never the point. It was a side effect of a woman reclaiming her life. Without alcohol fogging her mornings, she could work out consistently. Without hangovers stealing her energy, she could be present with her son. Without wine numbing her emotions, she could actually process her divorce. The tabloids obsessed over her body. The real story was about her mind. Adele later told Oprah that this period was about taking care of myself. Not for a magazine cover. Not for a comeback. But for herself. She described alcohol as something that had been numbing her. And now, feeling everything fully, the good and the painful, she was becoming more herself than she'd ever been. This is the promise and the challenge of sobriety. You feel everything. The grief isn't diluted. The joy isn't dimmed. You're fully alive. And sometimes that's terrifying. But for Adele, it was liberation. November 2021. After 6 years, Adele released her fourth album, 30. Every song on this album was written sober. Every emotion was felt fully. And you can hear the difference. Easy on Me, the lead single, isn't about romantic heartbreak. It's about self-compassion. It's Adele asking herself, and her son, for grace as she navigates divorce and transformation. In interviews promoting the album, Adele opened up about her journey. She told British Vogue that she'd quit drinking to help manage her anxiety. She told Oprah that she'd been using alcohol to drown out difficult emotions. And in that Las Vegas concert venue, in October 2021, she told her fans directly, "I stopped drinking." The crowd erupted in applause. Because they understood what so many people understand. Sobriety isn't about weakness. It's about strength. But Adele did something even more important than just quitting. She talked about why. She explained that she wanted to be present for her son. She wanted to feel her emotions instead of numbing them. She wanted to show up as her authentic self rather than a wine-enhanced version. This honesty mattered. Because for every celebrity who quietly quits drinking, there are millions of regular people struggling with the same questions. Is my drinking normal? Am I doing this to relax, or am I doing this to escape? Could my life be better without it? Adele's story isn't unique. It's part of a larger shift happening in Hollywood right now. Brad Pitt quit drinking after his divorce from Angelina Jolie. He's called it the most liberating thing and credits sobriety with saving his life. Tom Holland quit after realizing he couldn't do Dry January without struggling, which made him question his relationship with alcohol entirely. Chrissy Teigen quit during the pandemic, saying she'd been using alcohol to cope with social anxiety for years. Bella Hadid quit because alcohol was triggering her anxiety and depression. These aren't cautionary tales about addiction. These are stories about high achievers realizing that alcohol was keeping them from being their best selves. And they're speaking out because the culture is finally ready to listen. For decades, alcohol has been marketed as essential to sophistication, success, and social connection. Beer commercials promise friendship. Wine labels promise relaxation. Champagne promises celebration. But what they don't show is the anxiety that comes after. The depression that creeps in. The numbness that replaces genuine joy. The sober curious movement is challenging these narratives. It's asking, what if we don't need alcohol to have fun? What if we're more creative, more connected, more ourselves without it? Younger generations are drinking less than any previous generation. The wellness industry has exploded with alcohol-free alternatives. And celebrities like Adele are proving that sobriety doesn't mean boring. It means authentic. But let's address the elephant in the room. Not everyone who quits drinking has a problem with alcohol. And that's precisely the point. You don't have to hit rock bottom to decide you deserve better. You don't have to be an alcoholic to recognize that alcohol isn't serving you. You can simply choose to live differently. This is what Adele represents. Not recovery from addiction, but liberation from convention. Here's what nobody tells you about getting sober. It's not just about not drinking. It's about rebuilding your entire relationship with discomfort. For years, Adele had used wine to ease social anxiety, to relax after performances, to quiet the critical voice in her head. Without that crutch, she had to learn new coping mechanisms. She had to sit with anxiety instead of drowning it. She had to feel grief instead of numbing it. She had to be uncomfortable until she learned to be comfortable in her own skin. This is the real work of sobriety. Not just abstaining, but becoming. Adele has been candid about using therapy, exercise, and genuine connection to replace what alcohol had been providing artificially. She's talked about morning workouts that ground her, therapy sessions that heal her, time with her son that fulfills her. These aren't just celebrity wellness trends. They're evidence of someone building a life they don't need to escape from. And the results speak for themselves. 30 debuted at number 1 in 30 countries. It became the best-selling album of 2021. Adele secured a Vegas residency worth millions. But more importantly, she secured something else. Herself. In interviews, she radiates a different kind of confidence now. Not the bravado of someone hiding pain, but the peace of someone who's faced it. Adele's sobriety story matters because representation matters. When celebrities stay silent about quitting drinking, they reinforce the stigma. They suggest it's something shameful to hide. But when they speak openly, like Adele, like Bradley Cooper, like Tom Holland, they give permission to everyone else struggling with the same questions. Is my drinking normal? Could I be happier without it? Am I allowed to want more for myself? The answer to all three is yes. The entertainment industry is slowly changing. Non-alcoholic spirits are appearing at Hollywood parties. Sober spaces are being created at festivals. And celebrities are increasingly open about choosing clarity over cocktails. This shift isn't about judgment. It's about options. For too long, the only path was to drink until it became a problem, then address the problem. But what if we normalize choosing sobriety before it becomes necessary? What if we celebrated people like Adele not because they overcame addiction, but because they chose optimization? Here's the final truth. Adele didn't quit drinking because she hit rock bottom. She quit because she realized the bottom wasn't the only reason to climb. She wanted to be a better mother, a better artist, a better version of herself. And alcohol was standing in the way of that becoming. Today, Adele is thriving. She's in a healthy relationship with sports agent Rich Paul. She's performing regularly in Vegas. She's present for her son. And she's creating from a place of authenticity rather than artifice. The woman who built a career singing about heartbreak has found something even more powerful to sing about: wholeness. And as more celebrities follow her lead, choosing clarity, choosing presence, choosing themselves, they're sending a message that resonates far beyond Hollywood. You don't have to wait until something is broken to decide you deserve better. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose to feel everything. Even when, especially when, the whole world is offering you a drink to numb the pain. If Adele's story resonated with you, you're not alone. Millions of people are rethinking their relationship with alcohol. And that's not a problem. It's progress. Turn on the notification for more helpful tips and true stories to stay sober.